Today, we're gonna do a dual gauge conversion install thingamajigger. We have our dual gauge setup kit right here with our back plates. We have the Guerrilla cables dual gauge wiring harness system for the FXDB model. And we got a nice little tachometer to match the gauge already on there from Harley. So this is a really good upgrade. It looks awesome. It really is a safer and better way to see how fast you're going. Hey yo, what is up everybody? Steve here with Speed Kings. Today, we're gonna do a dual gauge conversion install thingamajigger. We have our dual gauge setup kit right here with our back plates. We have the Guerrilla cables dual gauge wiring harness system for the FXDB model. So this will be going on the FXDB behind us. Dyna Street Bob, not Softail Street Bob. Don't get it fucking confused. And we got a nice little tachometer to match the gauge already on there from Harley. I bet you're asking yourself, why would I do this to my bike? Well, I fucking hate the gauge placement on the tank of a Harley-Davidson. A lot of the Dyna models, the new FXLR model, the new Fat Bob model, it's a fucking stupid location. It's dangerous as shit. You're riding around and you gotta look down to see how fast you're going. Bad news, bad news. So we wanna take it and put it in a safer position right below your eye line on your bars. So while you're riding, looking hard as fuck, all you gotta do is glance down with your eyes to know how fast you're going and to see where your RPMs are. So this is a really good upgrade. It looks awesome, but it's just a lot better system than the stock system. It really is a safer and better way to see how fast you're going, if you care about that. If you don't, then fucking just take it out and use a shit. So the Guerrilla cables harness makes it a lot easier, makes it just a plug and play system. Because without this harness, we can't really add the tack in. The Street Bob model doesn't have a tack. It just has a single gauge speedometer, like a few different models out there on the Harley-Davidson Dyna platforms. With this harness, it plugs right into your stock system and allows the use of a tachometer. Why use a tachometer? Race shit, bro. Most of these components are available at speed-kingscycle.com, your lovely website for all your V-twin performance needs. We do not, however, sell the Harley-Davidson tachometer. So this little unit you'll have to get with your local Harley dealership and get the one specified for your model of bike. So we're gonna go through, throw all this on, make this a dual gauge system, and go from there. So first thing, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the gauge bracket into place, just so we can see where it's gonna reside. We'll go ahead and start by removing this dash, getting the speedometer pulled out, get the wiring kind of situated so we know where to plug in the new Guerrilla harness. So I just unplugged the stock harness from the gas tank right here, just to give me a little bit more room to work with it. So now we're gonna go ahead and just disconnect it from the speedometer. We will pop out the gauge cluster and disconnect from the switch. So for now, we're just gonna leave the dash right there and start working with the gauges itself. So there's a couple other things that we kind of forgot that you'll need, and those are these gaskets. Those are the rubber gaskets that go on the top and bottom of the gauges. So you need 2 of each. For this part number, for the bottoms, it's 67104-95, which we'll put this in the notes below on our YouTube channel. And you'll need 2 pieces of 67121-95A, as in asshole. And you'll need a couple little screws. You can buy these for $40 at Harley or 10 cents at Home Depot or anywhere else. Go ahead and start kind of putting this stuff together just off the bike. So the top gasket is just a full circle. You just put it on with the bevel going down, because you want that lip. This lip is what's gonna sit in the holder. See, the bottom one has this right here, this little this little sweet little valley, little cutout. That's where your wiring is gonna go through. So what you do when you go and you plug it in, you're gonna plug it in inside the gauge, and then you put that over it, and it just protects the wiring from water or whatever the fuck. All right, so we're gonna move over here now. Come along with me. I'm gonna go ahead and run our wires up here. We're gonna do the speedo on the left and the tack on the right. So our black one goes to our speedo, our gray one goes to our tack. Just slowly get things plugged in. Boop. Get them put into place. Be careful, because those try not to just let it go. In the past, I've let one go and it just fucking fell out and dented the trim ring. I was so excited. All right, so now you can see we got the tack in place. We have it plugged in. We're gonna go ahead and place our rear gasket, the one that has a sweet cutout. Put it into place right here. We already got our screws in our hand. All right, let's get our other screw in there. Let's screw it in real good. And just be careful, because the gasket likes to suck itself in. So just try to make sure it's nice and even and not sucking itself in the best you can. All right, so we got our tack in place. All right, so now we're gonna put the speedo in. Now, I'm a firm believer in work smarter, not harder, and I definitely didn't do it in this procedure. This would have been a lot easier to build this all off the bike. Also, make it to where you're not risking dropping anything out. So, when you go to do it, don't follow my instructions and build it off the bike, please. So sometimes these little gaskets are real fun to work in, especially when you got a little bit of powder coat in play. Powder coat does make things thicker, don't forget that. That's what she said. Get that gasket placed properly. Boom, just like that. And again, make sure not to let it go or anything like that, because the last thing you want is this thing popping out on you and you denting your bezel. Sometimes it's a wee bit easier if you have a helper, maybe, I don't know. All right, so now we'll just go ahead and tighten these screws up. Boom, that's in place now. Here's the fun part. We get to go in the neck now and trace this all down. So, all right, let's just start pulling shit out of the neck. It's like fucking Thanksgiving. And that's what we want. We want this one main plug right here. We're getting rid of all this stuff right here and replacing it with the new. Make sure to lube your holes. It helps so you don't have corrosion and stuff on your electrical components, no rust or anything like that, okay? So make sure you're using the dielectric grease. It's real simple, it's a couple bucks, don't cheap out. All right, so we're just gonna put some in the plugs. Boop, plug that in. Now I get to have fun and jamming that all back in the neck. From here, we're gonna go ahead and get our pump plug back in. And this will be going into our dash ignition switch, and we'll get it all put back together. We're gonna build a puck for this dash to cover everything up, which we're gonna design at this point now. For the now, we're gonna go ahead and plug our ignition back in and call it a day, because this bike is going to Mexico. All right, so everything's put away now. Let's just see if everything works. Ooh, all our lights are lighting up. Let's go ahead and give her a start up. Fuel pump's running. Race shit! all in all, it's a very easy kit to install. The wiring harness is just plug and play. Everything works properly. I mean, it's just, Guerrilla Cables kills it. They know what's going on. They know what they're doing. You can get this cool shit and a bunch of other cool shit at speed-kingcycle.com. Ask about it. Thank you.